Leave them, he commanded in a roughened voice. Don't take that off. Ileana paused in mid-action, her fingers resting on the front clasp of the bra, her eyes slowly leaving the hook and searching for his stare. ¿Tú eres segura? Are you sure? It only takes a twist of the hand. She smiled seductively. And see, they're just waiting for your attention. She smiled, exposing her swollen white breasts. He watched as Ileana lowered her head in a sensuous manner and placed a light kiss on one of her breasts. She cupped the large, soft flesh between both hands and pressed them together, creating cleavage Jorge couldn't ignore. She sought his eyes and dragged pronounced, shapely lips slowly across the white surface of skin to kiss the other breast. Jorge caught glimpses of a pink flickering tongue trailing along the cleavage he so wanted to lose himself in. Ven aquí, come here, he ordered from the wheelchair positioned behind a massive desk in his home office. It was late, and he'd been working for hours on a news story. He needed the distraction, although his mind had drifted away from work some time ago. The walls to his study allowed him to gaze all house activity because they were clear and transparent. He'd seen his wife when she first entered their home. He had monitored her as she turned on the soft, quieting sounds of salsa. The instrumentals were slow and rhythmic. Ven aquí, mi diamante blanca, he murmured as the visual images caused his body to respond to the sexual stimuli. Jorge's eyes were fastened to his wife's traveling, lush lips. He inhaled sharply as her mouth inched towards the dual pinnacles of her upper anatomy. She knew how to provoke his body, assault his nervous system. Her deliberate actions were triggering his hippocampus, the pleasure center of his brain, the core of his sexual desire. No, Jorge, I want you to simply watch, enjoy, she teased. See how your body reacts to my close proximity? Look at how it craves your attention, your touch. Yo simplemente quiero mirarte. She smiled as she gradually began to dance before her husband. She tossed her head back and allowed the long black hair to sweep across her shoulders in defiance. She manipulatively turned around in a way that would allow her husband to examine the entire length of her body, never hesitating to highlight certain areas of her female anatomy, which could offer him unimaginable pleasure. Physical sensations that would heighten his breathing and begin the sexual climb to an orgasmic peak. ¿Te gusta mi esposo? Do you like what I have to offer you? She quizzed as she provocatively maneuvered the core of her body. She mimicked the Middle Eastern belly roll of a snake charmer as her arms swayed high above her head. Ileana delighted in the flare of excitement that lit her husband's eyes. She could see how much he desired her, how intensely he wanted to place his hands upon her partially nude body. She danced towards him with a triumphant gleam in her brown eyes as the 6-inch Steve Madden stilettos dictated her next step. Tú eres mi diablito. Are you going to behave like my little Mexican devil, Jorge? She asked with a knowing smile.